When discussing asset inventory, I briefly discussed configuration baselines, and that is the set of configurations for your critical infrastructure and your application. And you want to maintain that baseline, securely store it, grant access only to personnel that require access to it, especially modification access, and make sure changes to it are strictly controlled. So your network baseline is going to be like your firewall configurations or your network security group configurations if you're in the cloud like AWS or Azure. Your server baseline is going to be your server images. What OS versions are you applying to your servers, and what hardening standards are you using? Are you applying CIS benchmarks? Are you applying STIGs in the case of government vendors that are serving DoD customers? How are you managing those servers? So when you're spinning up a new server, how are you ensuring that the correct image gets applied, that all the security mechanisms are pre-configured, like there's endpoint protection on it, that there's an IR agent on it, that there's a backup agent, making sure that data from it is getting backed up, and that the server image is being monitored by a SIEM. How are you managing that? So that's configuration baseline for your network and your servers. Also your database, same thing. So a lot of organizations, if you're in the cloud, you might be pulling from your cloud services database management service, and in that case you are inheriting that control from your cloud service. But if you are managing databases and using a database management service, you want to make sure you're maintaining that baseline as well. And then for an application, your source code is your baseline. So you want to make sure you're using a repository that has version history that you're able to control access to. You want to make sure your change control logs are being ingested into your SIEM, so that no matter what, even if it's a bad actor or an insider threat trying to do something heinous and erase the logs to cover their tracks, those logs are already in your SIEM, they're unalterable, and your SIEM should be detecting that unauthorized activity or that unusual activity. So that's your three set of baselines: your network, firewall, your server and database configuration, and your source code. You want to make sure that those baselines are maintained. You maintain previous versions, so if you apply a new server image or you apply a new OS and it doesn't work with your application, you can roll it back. If you apply a code fix or a bug fix and it doesn't work, you can roll it back. So that's part of what your customers are going to want to see, is that you have the ability to recover from a change or an error if it occurs. No system is going to be error-free, but how quickly you can recover can differentiate you from your competitors.